Hey everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to come. So we are here on December 26th, Boxing Day. I'm hoping that you had a wonderful Christmas. Ours was really great. It was busy. That's fine. We're finally getting a video out today. I've been really wanting to do that for a little while, but there's just been a lot happening. So I'm working on accepting that. No resistance to what is, right? Enjoying that festive time leading up to and including Christmas. And really excited though for taking just a few minutes right now with everyone here to just ground center and start to refocus a little bit. So to help us with that today, I've been eyeing this deck for a little bit. I've had this one for quite a long time. It's the Power Animals Oracle cards. I might have used this with you guys once before. I can't remember. By Stephen D. Farmer, PhD. And so, yeah, we're just gonna see. I think I've just been spending a lot of time with my animals here at home, and so I've been really focused with animals. So I thought we'd go with that theme today and see what comes up. All right, so I'm just gonna give the deck just a little shuffle here until I feel that inspiration. See what messages are wanting to come through for us today. All right. Oh, okay, there we go. This is going to be the one. All right, let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I don't think I've ever pulled this one. Badger, perseverance. Dig in and see it through to completion. So I'll show you the card there just to get a look at it. Badger card, very cute. Although I don't know a lot about badgers, but I feel like, yeah, you wouldn't want to cross them. You know what I mean? I feel like they've got this toughness about them, which kind of lends this perseverance idea. I love it. As cute as they are. Dig in and see it through to completion. Okay, so I'm going to take a little peek in the book. I'm curious for if there's any other kind of deeper insights here that we might connect to. Let's see here. So the badger. There's a lot of bee animals. There's a lot of bee animals. Okay. So don't give up so easily. Okay. You're going to have to be more patient and more persistent than you've ever been. The result or answer isn't that far away, but you've got to hang in there and stay with it. Too often in the past, you've tended to either give up too easily or else try shortcuts through relationships, career, and even your spiritual growth. If it's important enough for you to ask the question, then it's just as important that you remain steady in your pursuit of the answer. So that's really interesting. I mean, even someone like me, I consider myself a pretty persistent and persevering type of individual when I get something in my head. But I definitely, there are areas of my life, and I think it's funny it mentions the spiritual aspect. Like for me, if it's about taking care of someone else or um, like more concrete things, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, that's important. I gotta get that done. And I will probably go over the top and do a little bit too much to make that happen. But when it comes to stuff for like my self care, you know, connecting to my spirituality, things like that we've been, this is my opinion, we've been conditioned to maybe not take as seriously, right? Even though I know on this deep level, like that's probably the most important thing. And then everything kind of builds from there, right? We like, that's what we would tell someone else. But when it comes to us, sometimes those things go on the back burner, right? I can definitely connect with that. So that's interesting. That's how I'm taking that message right now. I'm like, okay, those things that I know are important, my self-care pieces and the spirituality, you know, connecting to that, making time and energy for that. That's just a really good reminder that that would be important not to give up on. So it doesn't matter if you've got a few inches or several miles to go. Take your time, no need to hurry. So that's interesting because I find sometimes it's like we can get this all or nothing energy. It's like, oh, it's all that. I have to just do it all out, and almost a burnout in that area. This is something I tend towards. So that's interesting. Like, no need to hurry. You know, keep your sights on the objective. but you'll have to put your feelings and any ambivalence aside for the time being. Indeed, you might even meet some resistance, but don't give up. So that's been interesting. So that's a little message for me. Over the last couple of days, I've been hearing that everywhere, or I just that thought has been coming up to me of like, release your resistance. So funny that just reading that there about you're going to meet that, right? Accept that, and then working on observing that, and can you just let that be and not get super invested in that resistance, right? Don't let that stop you. Don't give up. You really are almost there. But before getting there, first live in the present, in the moment, right? We know this, right? But our minds, they don't like to stay there, right? They're in the past, ruminating over something that could have been, should have been, whatever, or jumping, anxiously to the future, what can be, right? Or might be, and usually it's a scary thing. So that's a very interesting reminder for me of first live in the present. It's only from this moment that you can truly proceed on your journey to get wherever you're headed. So go for it. Okay. So I find sometimes I know myself when I'm looking ahead to something like, I have a goal or something I'm wanting to do, maybe creatively or whatever in the future. My brain just wants to live there, right? And I'm kind of forgetting, like, in this moment right now, the only moment we're ever really in, right, is where I'm creating from, like, actively. This is the only place you can create from, right? So it's like observing when the mind is wandering off like that, and then can we bring it back? Not to say we can't have goals, absolutely, but just the focus, the energy, right? Trying to keep it here in this moment, because that's when you're going to bring that quality to what you're connecting to what you're wanting to create, right? So interesting additional associations: self-reliance, determination, assertiveness, and willingness. So interesting, moving into this, upcoming new year very soon. I get that vibe from that card very much of like, okay, we've got, having your goals. I don't sure how I feel about resolutions per se. We all have different opinions on that, I'm sure. But for me, it's like I like to take a little bit of time at the beginning of the new year and just kind of focus on, okay, in this moment right now, what am I connecting to? What do I want to develop a little bit more or not, right? And being honest about that as much as I can. And then in the moment, it's interesting that it brought that up. First of all, you might be feeling some resistance to some of those things. Notice, can you just let that be? Let it go, right? Let it be. Come back to your breath, recenter in the moment, right? And then refocusing on, okay, in this moment, what can I do to work on those things that are important to me, right? And it's really easy just to kind of hit that resistance and just like, okay, well, I'll do it later, right? Instead of like, okay, there's the resistance, let it be, refocus, recenter, whatever that is for you in this moment. Connecting with your breath. That's for me, when I connect with my breath, I feel like I'm connecting to my power in the moment. And then what can I do now that would be constructive, right? So moving beyond that resistance. So constructive in that area that I want to pursue, right? So working with that persistence and perseverance on those things that are really important to us. So I love that. I love that looking ahead into this next year. So that's given me some things to think about. I might sit down later today, do a little bit of maybe some journaling about some of those things that I'd like to, in the moment, uh, persist with and have some persistence around that I know that are important to me and that I'd like to develop. And those, for me, those things are definitely going to be self-care and spiritually related. So those are areas that I know I tend to, my brain will be like, yes, I know that's important, but I have to do all these things first, right? So this card has been a reminder for me to recenter and refocus on those things and persist and be persevering. through the resistance for those things. All right. Well, I hopefully that card had a message for you as well that you found helpful. Again, I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful holiday, and we'll probably see you in the new year for sure. All right. Take care, everybody.